Before we get started with today's video, do check out the 10,000 Valorant point giveaway that we're doing at the moment. All of the details and the link are in the description and top comment, and it ends on Friday, the 10th of September. Good luck. Hey guys, my name is RyanCentral and welcome to HitScan. In the surprising turn of events, the patch notes for Act 2 have actually been leaked a bit earlier. So in this video we're going to go over the changes, talk about them briefly. I would imagine that there might be a little bit more in regards to some of the changes coming in, but this is on paper what we have so far. We could start with some changes to Breach, Brimstone and Sova, where all of their damage dealing abilities, for example Orbital Strike for Brimstone, Sova's Hunter's Fury and Breach's Aftershock, they now all deal damage to alarm bots, to nanoswarms, to lockdowns, to tripwires, to Leas, barrier orbs, recon bolts, and 0 points. So any utility basically can be destroyed. So it was somebody brought it up. I can't remember who it was, but it's a big thing when it comes to consistency for these guys. That's the main thing overall, is just making sure that like if a shock dart could do damage to it, then it would make sense that a Hunter's Fury should be able to do damage, and Orbital Strike, and of course a Breach's Aftershock. It does seem kind of strong in regards to using an Aftershock to destroy a full Killjoy lockdown. For something like an Orbital Strike, it did that anyway. Sova obviously would use his ultimate to destroy a lockdown, so it is a sense of making things consistent across abilities like this. But considering Breach has been in a pretty rough spot for the most part in regards to pick rate and how he's perceived in the meta, certainly after his changes in Act 3, Episode 3 even, this is a nice quality of life fix. I don't think it's going to bring up his pick rate all that much, but it's nice to get everything at least leveled out. Now, before anybody thinks that these changes aren't legit, that these are fake, there are a couple of people that have confirmed, including Mandeep, and I also checked out myself, that you can actually destroy a lockdown with Breach utility, so it lends itself to suggesting that everything else on here would also line up as well. So it has been confirmed by a few people that these patch notes and these changes are actually legit. But in regards to the patch notes, there's only two changes to agents, really, and they're both nerfs. The first is to Killjoy to her turret, and decreasing bullet tagging from a 72.5% slow to a 29.5% slow. It's a pretty big change. That's like a 50% drop near enough. And there even is dev comments in here, which again, add to the legitimacy of these changes. Killjoy's turret is a versatile ability that provides info, chip damage, and a powerful slow. While manageable during mid to later rounds, the turret can be especially oppressive on pistol rounds down longer sightlines, where the tagging intensity combined with weapon spread makes it challenging to press forward. These changes aim to slightly turn down the turret's ability to impede rushes and give opponent more counterplay options. I really like this. I think turret is a really good bit of utility to actually stop and slow down certain pushes, most certainly in pistol rounds, but I even think just in normal full buys, it can be a bit oppressive, or at least annoying, but it should be annoying. That's its whole design. So I don't mind this change as much, and especially because Cypher or no Sentinel compositions aren't particularly the way to go right now. You see some teams running Cypher and some teams playing without Sentinel. Let's be honest, that's every ranked game that we ever have, as well, is usually without a Sentinel for the most part. But my overall point is that it's not like Killjoy's going to drop and Cypher's pick rate's going to go up. It's just more of a, again, quality of life change, but the real beefy stuff comes to Raze, who's had her boombot, I would say, nerfed pretty dramatically. The max damage that the boombot can do when it explodes has gone down from 125 to 80, and the minimum damage has been reduced from 50 to 30. It has had its cost reduced to 300, which is nice. It was one of the most expensive abilities that one could get, and it's meant to be a utility tool, but this is what the devs say. The boombot's ability to clear space, spot and track opponents, as well as one-shot enemies with light shield, left you with limited options on how to counterplay, especially during low eco rounds. So we're trading off reduced damage output for an ability cost reduction in order to introduce more boombot counterplay options. This should also increase the frequency the Raze mains can use the boombot to create space. And of course, map updates, new map fracture is going to be in this patch, and there's going to be a fracture only queue. I would say that there is no jet changes in here, which is quite surprising. It is incredibly odd, to say the very least, that the devs have decided to nerf Raze again and leave Jet as she is. That's a bit odd to me. It might be just looking a bit too specific, and maybe I'm, siding with the Raze mains for now. It just seems like an odd thing to do, as if she wasn't hit hard enough already. Competitive updates are coming in. Immortal 1, 2, and 3 tiers are back, and the leaderboard will update to distinguish between those in each Immortal tier. They've also updated the rank group restrictions to accommodate return for Immortal 1, 2, and 3. So the Diamond 1, when it comes to restrictions in how many people you could play with, Diamond 1 is now Immortal 1, Diamond 2 is now Immortal 2, Diamond 3, Immortal 3, and I would assume that Diamond overall as a rank doesn't have any form of grouping restrictions anymore, seeing as we've had a full new rank tier being added back in, effectively. They've adjusted competitive rank distribution, which is something that they spoke about in the recent Ask Valorant, and like I mentioned, a Fracture only queue. It's standard on rating, and it'll be available for 2 weeks before it gets put into competitive and all that jazz. And finally, a couple of updates to AFK detection, performance updates with NVIDIA Reflex and pin calculations to server frame time, and the Premium Battle Pass bonus. If you upgrade it, you get a 3% XP boost towards your Battle Pass tier progression, meaning that you effectively get stuff a lot quicker, but not by too much, I would say. But it doesn't apply towards daily or weekly missions, it's just grinding the game at that point. I'll be honest, I was expecting more. I think that this is a pretty mediocre patch considering it's the start of an episode. Not that we were expecting too much content wise, like I know that the Euro changes were rumored to be coming soon-ish. I know it was paused indefinitely, but from what I've seen with dev interviews, which I should have a video to break down all of that over the next coming days, it definitely sounds like the Euro stuff isn't coming anytime soon. They didn't really talk about it. They said that they had no updates, and considering how much the devs were happy to talk about Euro getting changes and how excited they were about it in episode 3, it is a little bit concerning how they've just gone to being like, hey, we don't have anything to say about this anymore. Which is a shame, but they did say that they are indefinitely pausing it, so I wonder why. I was expecting more balance changes. It's been 2 months now since every agent got a pass, and I think agents like Sky, maybe like Viper, and certainly Jet could certainly take a bit of a looking at. KO as well could do with buffing. I think he's not as potent as he maybe should be. He's not as competitive with the other options, but I'd say that's just Sky and Sova being elite picks over anything else at this point. So if this is just a patch that we're expecting on Tuesday, it's going to be a little bit disappointing, to say the very least. But there should be more news coming at the very least. Like, again, there was a Q&A with the devs. I've got to sort of break that down and get all of the quotes. And if you want to hear more information on some of the stuff coming in the future, be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to join the giveaway as well. But yeah, these are the balance changes that have come in. I'm a little bit sad, and I hope that there's maybe a few more changes that were missed in this leak. Be sure to check out the video going over Fracture. Also, a lot of streamers and YouTubers are going to be playing out the map, but if you want to see the battle pass, check out all of the videos in the description and stuff below, and be sure to enter the giveaway. Thanks very much, guys, for watching. Let me know what you think of this patch in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Take care.